Hello YouTube, my name's Marie. Today I'm going to be talking about the 2017 movie entitled Midnight Runner. Now you guys have probably already heard of this movie considering it's starring... and they're amazing. But I had no interest in giving this movie a chance for the longest time because I was under the impression that it was just like a cop show, and frankly like just straight up cop movies don't interest me. But I'm here to tell you that this is not just your average cop show. For one thing, the two lead characters aren't even cops yet. They're students at the National Korean Police University. So the purpose of the movie is less about like, you know, them being cops and more about their friendship, and then also a little bit of like kind of the internal struggle of whether or not becoming a cop is actually what they want to do. Now, I don't want to overemphasize that. That's really like under layers of the show, but I thought it was really powerful. So what is Midnight Runner about? Again, it is about these two students at the National Korean Police University who happen to witness a kidnapping one night, and because the missing persons unit at the police department is otherwise busy, they take it upon themselves to investigate. So let's talk about cons first, because I don't have very many, and that is because while I was watching this movie I was just thoroughly entertained. I was entertained by the characters and I was entertained by the plot. I think if I were to re-watch this movie trying to be more critical and less like wanting to just simply enjoy it with my popcorn, and then I would be able to pull out some problems or like point to things that I think they could have done better. But again, as my first viewing goes, I just had a ridiculous amount of fun with this movie. I had a great time with our two male leads. Their chemistry together is awesome. They are so realistic. Based on who these two students are, I believed the entire movie. The comedy here is also fantastic. Even in these dire situations, I was finding myself smiling and laughing, but also feeling the tension because the fight scenes aren't over choreographed. I think a lot of times when I think about an action like cop film, I think about like fight scenes where any real person doing this would probably already be dead. That's not what you get with Midnight Runner. You believe that these two guys at their prime, like they are the most fit that they could be, but they're still students, you know, and they're still real people. I actually really enjoyed the more gritty and less theatrical fight scenes. And continuing with that feeling of realism, I also believed their entire investigation. Like at no point did I not understand how they got from point A to point B. I really invested myself in the investigation with these two guys. Like I wanted to know where the tteokbokki came from, and then I wanted to know where the girl lived, and then you know, like every single step of the way I could follow it, and then I understood all of their actions and their choices. Another aspect of this movie that I really did enjoy is that kind of undercurrent of commentary about like why does someone choose to become a cop, and then also I loved how the show doesn't ignore some of the issues that the justice system has in real life. Few of the scenes that were getting the characters really frustrated also frustrated me, and it frustrated me in this very realistic way because it's like, you know, that these sorts of roadblocks, I would say, happen in real life. I know I might not be making a lot of sense because I'm trying to speak in like a spoiler-free way. One example could be when our two leads go into a police department and they want to report a crime, but they don't have their IDs on them, and then the situation just escalates and escalates until eventually they're the ones being handcuffed. It's such a frustrating moment for everybody involved, but you know it's quite a realistic one because the movie and the story is really not about the issues with the institution of law enforcement. It's about these two characters trying to save a girl's life. So yeah, my overall rating is going to be a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved our two leads. I thought the acting was great. I thought the story was very engaging. I loved the realistic aspects, but the realistic aspects balanced with the comedy. Like, this is just a great time. Like, if you're wanting something that's low effort, being like a movie, like you don't want to commit all of your your weekend to a TV show, throw Midnight Runner on and I guarantee you'll have a good time. Okay, my battery's about to die, so perfect timing. Have a good day and a good night. Bye!